So we're now recording live.
Yeah, we are. We are actually recording.
So welcome to Black Food Tales podcast, episode 6. I'm joined by my guest. Why don't you tell the audience who you are, a bit about yourself, and what you do?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm Sef Kombo. I'm a DJ. I am a event manager stroke director of a night that's quite popular in London. I produce a bit of music, and I'm a radio broadcaster.
Okay.
So that's a general kind of feel of what I do. I've been doing it for literally roughly 10 years professionally, just coming up to 10 years now, and it's been a fun ride. So I'm glad to be on your podcast. Once again, thank you for inviting me. And yeah, let's talk, I guess.
Yeah, by all means. Well, by all means. You mentioned like you've got something that you're on or doing at the moment. Like what is that? Can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So right now, I've been doing it since 2009. It's a house music night called Till 2. And that's basically a night where it's midweek. So it runs on a Thursday night, school night, very cheeky to some. But we started when a lot of people were still students, a lot of like young graduates and stuff. And now we've continued the theme of doing Thursday nights. We believe in connecting the music and the DJs with the crowd. And that's why I prefer to keep it quite small, intimate, lower numbers. We have the reach to do bigger numbers. I feel we do have the reach and the popularity to do bigger numbers, but I feel like I lose a little bit more. It has to be the right setting. I haven't found the right setting yet. So where I am, I'm very, very satisfied. So that's what I've been doing for the last coming up to 10 years now, till 2.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah. So
you're a veteran then.
Yeah, to call us the originals.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, it's going really well. We've had a bit of a resurgence over the last year and a bit. So a backstory about it is really that we took a break only because I couldn't find the right setting to provide the nights which I was, got the reputation for.
When you say setting, we talk about like venue.
Yeah, talking about the venue. Yeah, venue, sound. Those two things so important to me.
When you say sound, are we talking about like the equipment, or are we talking about like the actual music that you're playing?
A bit of both actually. The sound was important, but also the equipment within the club, so people can feel it, because it's a style of music that we play, Afro House, where there's a bit of a deeper underlying meaning to some of the productions. And if you've got a venue which doesn't really produce that sound or give the client, give the DJ what the story they want to tell to the ravers or clients or party goers, then it doesn't work. You find that you have to go back to maybe tracks that people know, lyrical music that they possibly know, and then they won't really think about the sound. But when you got good sound in there, if you want to play a new track, you probably could hit home quite quickly if the track has some elements in there which a big room sound needs in order for that track to flourish.
Is that from like being able to like feel the bass and feel like the music and stuff like that?
Yeah, it could be the bass, it could be the claps, it could be the snares, it could be just a kick. So I couldn't find a venue to do that for me. Right size, right sound.
It's interesting because like when you go out partying as a party goer, so to speak, you appreciate good music, but you don't always know what goes on behind to make it sound so good. You just know, this venue sounds good, or this night was good. You didn't think about all the preparation that went into it and stuff. So it's interesting that you say that. In terms of venue, have you ever like struggled to find, outside of say the equipment or the actual sound, like a location that's willing to have you there?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Can you tell us a story about any of the struggles you've been through?
Even the venue that I was using at the moment, it's like we had to prove something to them. I think there has been definitely a stigma behind demographics which caused obviously the 696.
696?
696. It's a form basically which is you give your details basically, and the police.
Okay.
They do a risk assessment check on you, and then they will tell the licensing whether your event is safe, or there is a medium risk, or it's a high risk event. So then after that, the council have the powers to. Then it's up to the council to basically shut down the event, or not shut down the event, but then tell the venue that it's high risk and can't do it.
Do you think that they generally are fair?
They're scrapping the 696 because the whole point of the 696 was to actually eliminate gun crime from the club scene, because there was a rise in gun crime. However, it is believed that the form was used also if there was maybe a fight or some disturbance at clubs, that the DJs who may have been playing, maybe not directly involved or maybe involved, have would be deemed as a high risk. So if the form is for gun crime but there was no gun crime at the event, then the form actually is not done correctly. So that's what was happening a lot. So that's why they've scrapped it now, because they find no evidence of any gun crime. So they've had to do away with it.
The only reason why I guess I probed you on these about like location and stuff is literally no less than 48 hours ago, I've had a similar conversation with two other people about them wanting to do events, and venues have not been very, let's perhaps use the word welcoming.
Accommodating. Accommodating is the best word. That is true. To be fair, I've been lucky. Because I've only used a grand total, I think 4 venues, but in terms of Till 2 itself, and even my other event, Motherland, who I run with 2 other people, those venues, so we're talking about Rubilo, which is now closed down, Sway Bar, which I'm currently in now, and Grow in Hackney. Those 3 venues have supported what my vision and what I wanted to do. However, with Sway Bar, when I first initially went in there, I wouldn't go as far to say there wasn't accommodating, because they had the meeting with me, but I had to have a co-sign from someone else basically in order to have that meeting. But then when I was describing what I was trying to do, it got laughed off. But because I got co-signed or introduced by another promoter, they gave me a chance, and when I got the chance, I proved any doubts, any stigma that they may have had, and they supported me straight away. So it's about getting a chance as well.
That's interesting. So I'm just trying to think of like anybody listening, who's perhaps aspiring in terms of they want to get into the event, so they want to be a DJ or anything like that, like what routes that they can take. And to play devil's advocate based on what you just said, I can understand that for some venues they don't want to lose their license and stuff like that by giving their venue to potentially the wrong promoter. And it's not necessarily even the promoter's fault if something goes wrong. It could be the crowd that just happened to turn up on the day. So it is, I can understand both sides, but I just feel it's a very tricky area for anybody new that wants to get a shot. It's very, very hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. You do need support. You need not only a chance, but you need support as well. So the venue needs to support you to do your thing as well. And that's how you flourish with your ideas. When you know that a venue's gonna back you, you will flourish with your ideas, because you don't feel under pressure with the venue. You don't feel like when you call them that they're gonna be like, And that's what I've been lucky to have that with all the venues I've used, like for an extended period of time. They've just backed me, and they've backed my latest event, Motherland. I joined that team, but from that, the person that was in charge was backing that the team before, and then when I've come in, they're even backing it even more because of the skill set that I brought into the team to uplift the event even more. they see the vision and they want to back in. I've got another event coming up where the relationship between one DJ and a promoter from years back, they backing us in a venue which is proper. You know, you have to be top. Not top promoter, like we're talking about top brands going in there, and it feels good to be a local brand going in there and getting that type of backing. So yeah, like I said, backing and belief as well, yeah. And I wouldn't say that people go into venues and talk a big game and deliver nothing, but I think that could play a part as well. But yeah, you've got.
What do you mean? Like someone saying they're gonna do something and then it flops, basically?
Yeah, maybe took it like just trying to use maybe methods of, we do a certain amount on the bar. You know, we bring this many people in, and it's unorganized. It's a mess. You know, they're not hitting the bar targets. You know, I never came in with those type of facts and figures. I just said we have a good crowd. I need a chance. I think your venue will be good for me, and it was because I did imagine I did a Wednesday night on, you know, filling up the venue on a Wednesday night, 400 or 500 people. I've done that before.
That's good.
But to get to that point, I needed the backing of the club. I needed the club to believe me for 4 or 5 rays, even though those rays beforehand or events beforehand were busy. But if I didn't have the backing, then I probably wouldn't have done the 3rd, 4th, and then lead up to the 5th, 6th, where you just got sold out event. You know. But like I said, I didn't come in with no I wouldn't say lies, but just like maybe over exaggerated expectations. So I've got a good crowd. I'm building myself as a DJ. I'm building my brand up. You know, and I think this is the best place that I can do it. And, you know, they gave me a Wednesday night. It means I have to go back to the drawing board in terms of my promotion, fix up my website, and those things. Yeah, it's been a good run. So yeah, I'm happy. But like I said, for all new aspiring DJs or promoters especially, yeah, you definitely need the backing of the club to believe in your vision.
Sure. So you're in a real unique position. Obviously, you know, all these events that you're doing at the moment, you have like over 10 years of experience. I guess you've seen the industry transition and change over a period of time. Like, how do you feel at the minute, like, music influences culture at the moment, like, especially here in London?
Yeah, it's been changing it over time. Different there's been different waves. So when I first started, we was doing the funky house stuff. So that was quite big in terms of the students were hot in it. So I used to DJ in Leicester every week. I used to go and sleep on either on the floor of my friend's dorm room, or whatever they call it, student accommodation and stuff, because in London there was a whole batch of DJs. I didn't know how to get through, who to access, so I decided, okay, maybe I can start a fan base by going to students. I identified Leicester as a place with a lot of London-based students. Went up there and was DJing, and the funky house was a more fun, bouncy vibe, and with MCs and simple flows and simple rhythms. So that was the fun, really, really fun times. And then when I've transitioned into more, I'd say when I was trying to find myself as a sound, I went into the Afro House sound because I was maturing, so I was hearing more. I was understanding music a little bit better, more matured, like more soulful stuff.
Do you remember the first Afro House song you heard?
The first Afro House tune I heard, it was by Black Coffee, a track called Even Though.
Okay.
Featuring Bantu Soul. That was the first track, but I didn't know that was Afro House.
Sure.
But it was just like, wow.
It
was just, I think it was the lyrics, the melodies was nice. It was simple, wasn't too much, but it was the message behind the track where I kept listening. I said, this is me. And then when I started digging for Afro House, I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that this guy is from South Africa.
You know, the reason why I giggled like that is because like I love like black coffee, but at the time when I started hearing their music, like way back then in those days, I thought it was funky. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Because when I heard things like, was it Superman?
Oh yes.
There's a few other ones. I thought, okay, this is fun. I didn't realize until later. I realized when I moved abroad that like South Africa, they have this on lock. Like they're really into this.
I didn't know. So yeah, I'm literally, when I started digging, there was a website. I forgot what it's called. Basically, they used to sell songs when I was collecting my house collection. They used to sell songs for like 30p, 25p or something like that. But you had to basically put in about £20 first. So you deposit £20 and then you could just buy your tracks.
So what is this vinyls you're buying?
No, just MP3s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I really can't remember what the site is. I would have to look for it. Those sites are gone now. But yeah, you put like $20 in or something like that, and then you would have like limited tracks. Like it was crazy, and that's where I found, even though by Black Coffee, and I thought, this is cool. And then afterwards, I found a site called Afro DJ MP3, and that's where it had all the African jams, every single, like all the underground guys. It was raw, uncut, unfiltered Afro house music. So that's when I found all these other artists, and then started with the Afro house movement. So when the Afro house movement, going back to what you was asking about music influence, it was just rhythmic. It was just nice. Like, it was sexy. It's like the tunes like Superman, you know, the message behind that, Respect Me, the message behind that. There's another track, Higher Kaya, which is massive as well. You know, all the messages behind those tracks, you know, got the ladies like really going. Like, you know, even though some of the funky house tracks as well, like, had good messages around them and
100%.
and stuff. And just normal house tracks, like house from the US or house from Europe, UK. You know, the soulful vocal stuff was really nice. Like, everyone would come to an event dressed nice, heels, shirt, you know, making an effort. So that was a period there. Then it just all changed, and there was a new wave of house music. Deeper techie house, which started to involve shuffling dance moves.
Just so like anybody listening can perhaps like put like time frames to this. What year would you say that came in?
So Southport Weekender, that was 2011.
Okay.
So 2011, it was still the Afro House was doing, but at some points in that there was an introduction of this new style of music. And by 2012 at Southport, that had it taken over. So there was no longer, like, the girls weren't coming out as nice anymore. They were coming out in trainers, maxi trainers. They, you know, that it was very, very dressed down, very casual. And I get it, because it's like music is a bit more hyper. So you don't want to be wearing a dress doing that. It looks a bit odd. But yeah, it changed, and then there was probably an infiltration of drug use, balloons, and stuff like that. So it was definitely changing the culture, or the way things were. Like,
now that's a very like good it was perhaps a deeper answer than I was expecting. That's a great observation. So I guess the next bit that I want to ask you about, have you seen the way that you've seen like music influence culture over the years? Do you think there's any correlation between like music and food, or like especially like African food? Do you think there's any correlation?
It has had some influence. So when you go to some African restaurants and you hear tracks which are now very, very powerful and prominent on the radio or in the industry and on Spotify playlists and Apple Music and stuff like that, I definitely think it's bringing Yes, it's definitely doing its work in the culture.
You know, so I spent some time. I feel like I sound like a broken record. Like I lived some. I tell the story of I lived abroad for a few years, quite a few times. But basically, I lived in Ghana for about 3 years.
Okay, whereabouts?
Oh, do you know Ghana?
Yeah, I've been twice.
Oh, okay. I lived in Accra. I lived in a place called Asylum Down.
Okay, well, I was staying in West Legon.
Oh, West Legon, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah. So I was like maybe I'm like where I was, no traffic, probably like 5 minutes from Osu.
Oh yeah.
Around the corner from Ridge, like.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, West Legon near the university, right?
Yeah, so
cool.
just past, so a bit more west of the university, more. Well, I'm trying to think what. So you pass Achimota Forest, you come to the university, and then you keep going. So I think it's like the road which kind of connects. I don't know where, if you go further west, what that does, but the road, if you go right, you come to the roundabout and the flyover. So that main flyover takes you to East Lagos, basically.
Yeah.
So that I think it's only one roundabout. Like after you come, if you're coming from Osu or something like that, there's that first roundabout, and to go to West Lagos.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, all the way down there, basically. So
okay,
that's
cool.
That's where.
I need to go back. I haven't been back in a few years though. But
I miss it.
You miss it?
Yeah.
What do you miss about it?
I just wake up, go and get your watch,
Oh, yes.
Get your watch. Yeah. I know it's heavy, but it's calm, innit? Like, I like it. I love it. Yeah.
You know what I miss? Like, so over there, like here, we get mango. I don't know what prices are like now, but you get a mango from Sainsbury's. It's probably like that big. Probably costs you like £2-3 or something like that. I swear, no word of a lie. The mango, obviously people listening can't see, but this thing was like just smaller than a cantaloupe melon. This mango is huge. Probably cost me all of 50p.
Yeah, I know.
The woman there would chop it up fresh.
Yeah.
Have that in the morning.
Kelewele as well.
Oh yeah. That is nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Always go get the Kelewele.
And the fan ice cream.
Yes. Love that. Love the fan ice. Yeah, no, it's really nice country, and yeah, I enjoy it there.
So one thing I was before I forget, the reason why I guess I asked you about like perhaps like how you feel about, like, say, music and correlation between food. I know, like, I've like in the past had like problem with my weight, in that just comfort eating. Just be bored at home, just eat, or just going through stuff, you just eat. You know what I mean? And on the way here, like, funny enough, I was like stressing about some stuff, like, and then I just put on some music and I started listening to soca. And soca just...
Oh, yeah?
So you can't be miserable and listen to soca. I just think it's impossible. I think something similar as well about like Afrobeats. You can't be miserable and listen to Afrobeats.
No.
But the reason why I guess I mentioned the two, like, especially like music and food, is like sometimes in when I was out in Ghana, you witness some of the poorest people, they've got nothing, literally nothing. The tiny things that, me and you might complain about or whatever, like, they'd wish for those problems, so to speak. And I notice sometimes at nighttime, you give them the right song, watch it, like you're saying, or a beer, like Star beer, or just some good food. They're happier than you and me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's something about that. There's something, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something about just those two simple things in life, just having great music and good food at the right time can take all your troubles away. I strongly believe. But that's just my personal.
I agree. Well, I when I cook, I always got the music on.
Oh, you cook with music?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a chef and you throw it down in the kitchen, yeah?
Well, I'm not Papa L, but you got to try.
Okay,
a few bits.
What's your thing that you like?
Just varied stuff. Like I've got a cookbook for my friend Sean, who's does original flavor, so a lot of Caribbean stuff.
Cool.
So I cook a lot of that, but then I just kind of take a couple of directions from the cookbook and I just like try something, and then it tastes good. Yeah, I'm happy
You know
with
what?
it.
To be honest, like I've always said I'm not a chef.
Yeah.
But I love following recipes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't remember stuff in my head. I just get the cookbook and then
yeah.
just play
That's
with
what it's
stuff.
about. Yeah. That's what you play about. Yeah. So I think when it comes to chef, it's like you understand how to make food, and you understand if you do this, then that you're opening this potential. And that's sometimes we have the conversation with our mutual friend Lawrence, that he would tell me, when you do this, it means that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're a chef, because you understand, the kind of mathematics of it all, where we're just casual cooks, I guess. But yeah, I love putting on some music. It relaxes me. And just throw down the peppers and onions on my meat. Yeah. So, yeah.
For anybody listening or watching that's not sure who Lawrence is, he's in episode 1, so make sure you go check that out. So yeah, let's dive back into. Let's get into, let's say, your background and some of that. You're from Tanzania, right?
I am, yeah, from Tanzania.
Were you born in Tanzania? Or?
No, I was born here. So I was born in King's College Hospital, South London. So around the Camberwell area.
Okay,
and yes, I've been back to Tanzania many times. Lived out there for about a year, and I lived in South London, Brixton, and then I moved up to Park Royal when I was 15. So that's kind of just a bit. I haven't been moving around crazy anyway. I've only stayed in 3 homes over the course of my life. 2 in Brixton and 1 up in Park Royal, where I am now.
When you're out in Tanzania, can you share, like, I guess, some of the food that you may have had?
Yeah, so one of the prime dishes they have is ugali, which is like pounded yam.
Okay.
Or
did you like it?
I'm not into ugali, unfortunately. It's too dry for me, yeah.
So what dish did you have over there that you liked?
I'm okay with pilau rice. We have a lot of pilau rice, but not like if you go to an Indian restaurant and order the pilau, it's not the same. It's like a little twist on it. There's not as much like pepper on it. Like it's not as pilau rice from the Asians has normally got a little bit more color. Where you've got on the East African side, it's a slightly bit different. It's a little bit more rice as you cook it. Normally it's that type of color, not white, but a bit more brown. It's got a bit of color in it, but it's definitely not as colored as how the Asians make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does like Tanzanian cuisine or food have any influence from like Asian cooking?
Yeah. It does.
So
Definitely does. Yeah.
Okay.
It does, because I think it's just because of how the migration from what happened years ago. So we got Asia, we got Arabs in Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda. So we've always had that. There's always been an influence. So chapati is another big not dish, it's just a flatbread. So that's chapati is Asian as well. They make it in there. But again, it's a little bit different. So it's like you've got probably like the more pure chapati and pilau in Asia, but then it's like a little Tanzanian swag on the and the pilau and the chapati. So there's quite a lot of dishes.
Is there like any like, so where we are in London, is there like any like Tanzanian restaurants that you recommend or anything?
No,
none.
I've never heard of any.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because I'm only starting to see a Tanzanian community now in London, in the last 18 months, and they've been popping up on Twitter, and it's been quite nice because everyone that's Tanzanian has the Tanzanian flag on their name. So that's how I'm locating all of them. But the thing is, there's hardly that are my age. They're all young. Like, they're all like probably in their 20s, 22s. And a lot of them are not full Tanzanian. They're mixed as well.
It's funny that you say that, because like one of my very, very best friends growing up through like college years and stuff, he was Tanzanian. But I'm struggling to remember him hanging around with other Tanzanians.
Yeah.
So
I don't have any Tanzanian friends who I'm not know directly from like my mother, like a friend. Like, I haven't met anyone on the street. I mean, like, so all right, you from Tanzania? No.
You know what though? You know what I find interesting, like, on that topic? I'm finding that not just with locating people from the country that you're from, I'm finding that social media now gives you the opportunity to meet and associate with groups that you may not have been able to reach out to or find even 8-7 years ago.
No.
You know, like now, look, if you want to go find a Tanzanian pop-up, it's probably out there somewhere.
It
might only be 15 people in it, but you know, you might not be able to find that group 15 years ago, and that group will only keep growing and growing and growing.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've kind of found with like putting together like the Black Food Club and stuff like that. Reaching out and finding people that appeal to this kind of culture would have been a lot harder like 15.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
20
a
years
lot
ago.
of it's still word of mouth now, but the word of mouth at least means that if I tell you about it, then where can I look them up? Where before it might be like, when's the next one? So you can't probably pre-vet someone out or find maybe either a website or Twitter, like a rolling commentary, which would be your Twitter and your Instagrams. You wasn't able to do that as freely.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like I think I said this the other day to someone. I realized that like my buying patterns of things that I buy online has changed now, because once upon a time you go to a website and then does it look legit? Like it looks okay, then you buy whatever. Now if I go to a website, if I've never heard of it before, I'm like, okay, where's your Instagram? Let me go check you out. Where's your blog?
Yeah.
Where's your just like how many followers do you have before I check them out?
Yeah.
But that being said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it means that now like there's, you know, the bedroom entrepreneur that, I don't know, sells carvings from the bedroom. I'm more willing to buy from them now because I can check out the socials and, you know, they seem legit kind of thing. Even look, for example, Lawrence, I found him via interviewing somebody else by the name of Dean Carby.
Yeah.
I have to get him on this show, who's in the events industry.
Yeah.
And they were just linked on social media. I saw he did food, and then I saw they had a picture together. So I thought, okay, you know, I rate Dean. Let me check out Lawrence. And then that's when I went to his seafood tasting. That's the first time I met the guy.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, social media.
It, yeah. And but it's funny because I met Dean.
Oh, so you know Dean as well?
I know Dean, yeah. I know
Small
Dean.
world.
Yeah, I know Dean. Dean gave me my first booking.
Really?
My first club booking.
Okay.
So I met Dean, but through MySpace. So it's again.
Oh, really?
All,
MySpace.
Yeah, I met
there you
him
go.
through MySpace. So it's all social media, yeah, everything. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I
yeah.
met Lawrence.
Okay, okay.
Voice and Vibes, which they were before as a collective.
Yeah.
So that's how I know them through social media.
You know, it's funny that they kind of say it as well, that people that are, I don't want to sound arrogant by saying like movers and shakers, but people that are doing stuff, you're gonna find each other somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, truth be told, it might sound negative, it might sound bad. Not everybody's on it. Not everybody's got the drive to get up and go. You know, so you'll soon start weaving out, and then you can come together.
Yeah.
You know? But for me, part of this platform is like bring together the community in any way I can, and helping the community.
I love that.
And yeah, I mean to say that's why, you know. So I guess if you don't know, you probably don't know already. There's going to be a brunch on Sunday the 10th of June. Man like DJ Sef Kombo himself will be there.
Get my plate, Lawrence. Yeah, I'll be there, yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, say just bringing together great music, good food. I just want to create remarkable events and great dining experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. I subscribe to that idea, and I just want to go back to a key thing that you just said is about bringing the community together. And when I want to go back to my event, because I'm so passionate about this, and I tell people about it. It's like we have to be real about things in the music industry and how things go in the music industry. So as you grow in it and you get deeper into it, you find that some of the doors are harder to get through, or five of you can't go through it. It's only one of you can go through it. And when I created my brand, it was beyond just doing an event. It was beyond just making money. It was even beyond the music. It was, right, there's a new age of social media come out, which was Twitter at the time. We are good DJs. We play good music. We have an understanding of the music, and we have some fans. We have some followers. How are we going to elevate ourselves to a next level, a next platform? So that's when I decided to make a website, and in 2010 decided to make a website where I would record each people's set, so I would have tangible evidence of good music and good DJs and good DJ sets. And I would also probably kind of do a script on the DJ bio, if they had a bio ready, or write a bio, or, you know, and filter out information about themselves to people who may be interested in coming to see the event. So it was bringing the community together, because some people may have felt that DJs were not accessible. They say they stand in the DJ booth, I'm scared to say hello to them, you know, but they're just human beings, you know, they just play music. You know, so my aim was to bring the community closer together, bring the DJ to the people and bring them together, so it's people that are friends because of that. You know, or people follow the DJs because of platforms like Till 2, which bring the links and all the stuff to do with the DJ to the consumer. You know, the after sale service, the pre-sale service, and the after sale service. So the pre-sale is like, right, there's this DJ, check out his last live mix, or check out his latest radio show. That's the pre-sale. By the way, you can follow them on Twitter and get a rolling commentary of what they do. And then after they've done the set, here's the DJ set, or to people who didn't come, here's the DJ set, and follow them and look at their rolling commentary of what they like as a person, what do they do day to day and stuff like that. You know, invest in that person. So, you know, I think that I've elevated the community, and I've always wanted to elevate the community, because if we don't do it, no one else is going to, and we can't keep waiting for people to open the door for us. It's nice when they do, but we can do it ourselves as well. And I've seen that with other styles of music. So from hip hop and grime especially, I've seen people kick down the doors because they're just undeniable now. You know, they're putting out videos all the time, and they're putting out new music, so the radio stations have to play them, the Brits have to support them. You know, Mercury Music have to acknowledge the good work. You know, so with the house music scene in our community, we wasn't doing like what they were doing when we was here first. So now it's like, we need to get to those levels. I'm not saying we need to get Brits and stuff like that, but there's so many festivals, there's so many events that have none of us on, which is a shame, because we have something to give, we have something to bring, and we are deserving of being on a equal platform to people. But we have to uplift the community by having websites which showcase that we are good. So if you want to check me out, I don't want to tell you that I'm on Facebook. I am on Facebook, don't be wrong, but I want to say go to this website, go to Till 2 parties, and you will not only see me, but you'll see 10 others like me. But we're not the same in terms of what we play. We all play different styles. Take your pick, what suits you. It's almost like an agency, but it's not an agency, you know. So that's what I mean when you're saying about uplifting the community and helping the community going forward. That's what was my vision back then, and it still is my vision now. And you know, we'll keep on doing it. And hopefully one day, you know, we'll get recognized. I mean, I'm lucky to have got recognized by certain establishments, which is good for my work. But I want others to, because they're just as good as me. You know, yeah.
Well, I mean, how do I put this? Like, there's other things that I got cooking up. So look, if no one else wants to put you on a platform, don't worry. Like Black Food Club, like we got your back, man. Look, there's so many events that I wanna put together. I won't say too much just yet.
Don't talk too much,
as
they say, but it's
let actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
But no, I support everything that you're saying. And look, some of the things that you're suggesting now, I kind of feel that it's almost like a prerequisite now just to come across professional. Do you know what I mean? Like when we were talking, the beginning of this conversation almost started with like getting the recognition from like venues, or getting someone to approve you and stuff like that. Now, like if you do all the things that you're saying and you're in a network, or you're just ticking all the boxes, that's just only going to elevate you and help you. And I think what you're saying is definitely most relatable because of the industry that you're describing to anybody in the music industry.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel as well that tones of what you're saying could apply to, like, there could be a caterer listening as well. Make your website.
It's okay.
2018 and not have a website, it's almost like
I do understand that there's Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. That's good. They are good. I think I can give you more of a rolling preview of what you're doing or what you're doing day to day. But I feel like I've always said this, and it has happened a few times. Instagram went down, Facebook went down, Twitter's gone down a bit. So if those things go down, where's your next access point? Your first access point should always be your website, and everything else is secondary.
I 1000% agree with you, because look where you said that you met Dean earlier on MySpace. Where's MySpace now? Also as well, on that tip, like if outside of those networks becoming less popular, if they ban you tomorrow, like for me, like even with like Facebook ads, like at the moment as it stands right now, like Facebook has banned me from putting together ads and stuff like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg, swear out.
Do you know what I mean? So, but look,
that's the thing.
Yeah,
like, it's happened.
I've learnt my lesson. Do you know what I mean? That's why now I'm going more hard on the video and upload it to YouTube. I'm gonna put it all about the place. Like I'm trying to get more serious about Twitter, even though it is declining. Just like because I can't afford to be, for Facebook to have me by the neck. So to speak.
You can't. No. So and it's getting more expensive anyway. The Facebook thing is getting very expensive. It's useful, but there was a time where you could do 5,000 invites to an event, or you could post, and it will get through to you. Get an engagement from your followers, and now you don't get it. You post like the best video in the world, and you have to pay for your followers to see it. And that is a problem. So,
100%. But that's like why, like, do you listen to Gary Vee? Do you know Gary Vee?
Yes. I don't listen to him that much, but I know who you're talking about.
Cool.
Very charismatic guy.
Yeah. He gives so much advice to I guess young entrepreneurs or people that are with entrepreneurial tendencies, if you like, wanted to do their own thing. And one thing he's always ranting and raving about is like podcasting. That's why I'm trying to go hard with the podcasting.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because it's like there's less noise there. Do you know what I mean? There's less podcasts, so there's more opportunity for you to be heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know Alexa? Do you know Alexa? The little thing.
The Google thing. I've never used it before.
So there's the Google one, and then there's Alexa one.
Okay. Yeah.
So Gary's talked about like making like an Alexa skill kind of thing. So I made one for the Black Food Club, and I don't know how people are finding it because I'm not really promoting it, but people are finding it and listening to it, and I just use it to announce upcoming events and stuff like that. That's happening in London.
That's really good.
So it just like wherever there's less noise, there's an opportunity for you to push it out there and make yourself be heard.
Yeah, that's dope. I've been podcasting for it's like when everything shuts down, where are you going? So you've got to have your own hosting. I know that my hosting could go down. I do appreciate that. So, but that's just unlucky. If your hosting website goes down and Facebook and Twitter and everything goes down, that's just
So wait, you have your own podcast as well?
Yeah, I have a pod, but not. It's not a speech. It's a mix of speech and music.
Okay.
But in 2009, I found Apple Podcasts, and I started my Sef Sessions podcast, and I was thinking, okay, so I could essentially make CDs. That's cool. Takes me long to, because I only had one on my normal desktop PC with a tower and one burner, so that just took me ages to burn. Cool, I could do that. I could post it on Facebook, and I'm thinking, what was it was a site called Podomatic, where I was posting all my, and it became, the way they did it, it was very expensive because you only had like a certain bandwidth. So it's like, if you download, I've only got like, say, 2 gigs, and everyone downloading it. It was like crazy, $24 a month or something like that. I was paying it happily, and I was thinking, well, then I found Apple Podcasts. So I thought, okay, if Podomatic goes down, if Facebook goes down, then I'm done for. So how is there a way that I can automatically get my podcast to people? And that's when I found Apple Podcasts, and then I realized they said that the episodes will download like automatically. And obviously I knew that I learned that podcast was more of a speech thing, no more than 20 minutes. Used to be like, if you had a radio show, you recap a week of radio shows into 20 minutes. Something condensed, basically like a little takeaway. And I thought, if I can get, for example, you to download or subscribe to my podcast, I don't have to worry about you no more. Let me move on to the next person and see. And that is how I felt, okay, I can move on from trying to engage the same person every time, because that was what I needed to do. I needed to tell you that I had a new podcast every single time in the old platform, but now I've got the subscription. I can still speak about it and not worry that you have to see it. I have to worry about the next person seeing it. So that's why I started in 2009. So I've been podcasting for almost 10 years now, in terms of making sure that everybody has all my mixes from then. People still got the mixes on their phone.
So like, how has podcasting worked for you in, I was gonna say growing your brand, but I guess I want to ask you post growing, like now you got the podcasting audience, like have you been able to direct it somewhere? Does that make sense? Like now you have this audience, have you been able to like for example say to, now I have this audience, I'm putting on this show, come to this show, or
yes, during the podcast, yes, okay. I have been able to tell people. I find it easy. Yeah.
Has that been effective? Do you know if that's been effective, or it's not something?
I've got a massive fan base in South Africa.
Oh, really? Yeah.
With the podcast, because that's the style of music that they like, and I'm growing it here. There's a lot of people that listen to me here, that engage with me here as well. So I think it's just, I think I do the podcast because there's so much music out there, and I just want to broadcast it. I've got experience from doing radio shows on One Extra. I've done radio shows on Bang Radio and also Represent. So it was building my skills, because I'm not trained or a professional radio broadcaster like that. So I haven't been doing student radio. I started my first radio show just close to Hammersmith at Reactor Film. That's where I first started my first ever radio shows. And as soon as I went into establishment as Bang proper, I learned from whoever I could learn from, and I brought it all together to then learn how to produce my own radio show and podcast that out, which, like I said, I use that platform to not only speak about myself, but I speak about the movement in South Africa. If someone's got a new album, if there's been a beef, if there's a new single, so like proper stuff. Like that's was the aims. But yeah, like I said, I do use it as an opportunity to tell people that I'm doing a Till 2, I'm doing a Motherland event, or I'm playing here. So yeah, it's I find it quite useful, and the engagements I get from the podcast it's really good, because people are thriving for new music all the time. So that's been quite key.
Something you said really interesting that I guess I wanted to highlight is how you said that your audience sounds like it's predominantly in South Africa, the majority, which I think is the beauty at the minute of the internet. Because I spoke to somebody else that does like cooking YouTube videos, and their audience I think was in either Lagos or the States, or one of them. But it's just amazing that like you could be here and literally nobody, obviously I'm not saying that's what it's like, but I'm just saying nobody here can know you, but yet you're a huge superstar in another country.
It can happen. I think it was just again going back to 2009, that seemed like the poignant year. It was a very big year, 2009, because it's like I had a few discoveries in that year in terms of knowing where I wanted to go before I could build my events and build me as a DJ. And I created a mixtape series called Afro Power. Okay. So that's involved the track, even though I said, okay, so I'm from Africa. I love this music. I'm going to support it. So I decided to make a big CD of just productions from South Africa, house music productions. And it's like, I did 3 of those, and it's like, a lot of people like to hear. Like, it got a lot of ratings here. But then, because it was out there, South Africans were like, who's this guy playing our music? Like, this guy, people in England are playing our music? Wow. That's literally what it was. The fact that I'm outside of their country and I understand exactly the music that they like. You know, and all these guys like Black Coffee and Kula the Soul and Black Motion, they all know me because, you know, I've been there and I'm playing their music here, and it's like this, I've grown their music here as well as them doing their work, but I've introduced their music to so many people here. And then, like I said, the South Africans just appreciate it anyway, because I think when you're in, I think years ago, if you're just making your music in your room and you just think your local townships hearing it, then when you find that somebody abroad is actually playing your stuff and bigging it up, you're amazed. You're humbled. You're like, wow, I can't even believe it. And that's how a lot of the South Africans started finding me and talking about me. This is bruh, Sef Kombo in London. He's playing our stuff, man. Check him out. That's how it goes. Yeah. No,
that's amazing. Like artists I know had explained like or went through a similar experience where he dropped a song within a couple of weeks. Like it was on, I think it was on TV in Germany or something like that. Okay. And that's just crazy, you know.
It's crazy. It is crazy. It's good because I remember when I went on tour to Berlin, and we went to a basketball game, and they were in the what's it called, intermission. They were playing Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes. It was hot in London at the time, all over the UK, and then to see people flexing to it at the basketball game, it opened my eyes. Because you get picked up from the airport, you listen to the local radio, it's gonna be Usher, might be a Rihanna, a Jay-Z, and then you go and you hear this local talent like being played, and people are like getting down. You know, it just opened my eyes straight away. I was like, right, like actually music does actually travel, because you think that obviously the labels would be involved in giving the music from America or the most popular music from the UK to these radio stations, part of their promo run. But then when you hear something local, like playing in the streets, you're thinking, wow. So then I went to Poland and you hear certain music. I was like, wow. Like the tour was, opened my eyes a lot. Opened my eyes. So it's no surprise when I hear, you know, the music is going to, your mate put a music into on German TV. You know. It's dope. It's dope like that.
Cool. Yeah. Now I want to hit you with some rapid fire, quick answer questions.
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah.
What's the last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to was Aquatone and Cat Le Cat. Did you get the number?
Cool. What did you have for dinner yesterday?
What I had for dinner yesterday was beef, rice, and corn on the cob.
Okay. How would you describe your music style in one word?
Eclectic.
How would you describe your cooking style in one word?
Experimental.
If you could have a private party, what celebrity would you like to play for?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you know what? It's he's my guy. This guy's my guy. It's not because he just got married, but I think Prince Harry. You know,
Prince Harry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know what people have been saying about this guy.
Yeah.
He's into the jollof. He's into the jollof, innit? So I think he'll get down to like he'll enjoy it. A DJ set for me.
I definitely think he definitely appreciates other cultures and stuff.
He's definitely appreciates other culture, 110%. We've been saying it for years. Sure. Even before he was with this woman. Now we felt that.
Okay,
he's
cool.
Got some international.
By all means.
Yeah.
What song would you play for him?
Ooh. Okay, so I'll play. So there's this new track by a guy from Limpopo in South Africa called the artist's name is Da Capo.
Okay.
And his track is called Umbo Fokazi. So it's a track that's quite deep, but it's got a lot of feelings. So you know that if someone was getting married, you know that the music, that's the type of music that you may hear while the women are celebrating down the street as the bride and groom walk down, and in a traditional wedding. So I'll play that. It's still a house track.
Yeah.
So got deep, but like it does something to me. So I would want to channel that energy to him.
Okay. What's your favorite midnight snack?
That cheesecake from GU.
Oh, in the little bowl thing, yeah.
Mad expensive, but yeah, it's worth it.
You can't eat one, It comes in a pack of two. You can't eat it. It's impossible.
No. When it's £3, I'll do one, and then when it's £2, I'll do both of them on the same night. But when it's £3, that £1 extra is that. Ish.
Okay.
Save it.
What's your favorite restaurant in London?
Oh, I don't have a favorite. Oh gosh. I don't have a favorite, I go to so many.
Right, top 2 then, or top 3. You can just pick one, but just anything that comes to your mind.
So one of my favorite restaurants I've been to in recent years is probably Bread Street Kitchen. I really did like Bread Street Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did in St Paul's. That was nice. The ambiance and the service is really, really good. And lately I wish I had more seats, but like the I go chop. Is it I go chop? I chop. Something like that. There's some restaurant now that's in Campbell called I Chop or something like that. But
is the logo orange?
No, you know what? I'm confusing it because there's I Go Chop, which is in Finchley Road.
Yeah.
Not that one. It's Chop. No, that's Chop Pot. Chop Pot is the one in Finchley Road. I Go Chop is it's not orange. It's not orange. It's like yellow.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know you're talking about that. That's Chop Pot.
That's Chop Pot. Okay.
Yeah. So that, and I like Rum Kitchen in Brixton.
Do you like Rum Kitchen?
Rum Kitchen in Brixton, but however, I've got to say this. But the Covent Garden Rum Kitchen is not happening there.
Oh, you don't know?
No, it's not happening there.
You know what's funny? I've only been to actually Covent Garden. Where's Covent Garden?
Not Covent Garden, sorry.
The one
Carnaby Street.
Carnaby Street. I've been to Carnaby Street a few times. The only thing, my issue with the Carnaby Street one is that you can't have a conversation with someone. The music's mad loud.
Okay, I would say Brixton might be a bit loud, but
is it?
I would say I went to both in a very close vicinity. So I went to Rum Kitchen, Brixton. Was very happy. Went to Carnaby Street. And I was like, nah.
Cool. Well,
happening there. It's got to be Brixton. And I think there's, I think that because of the area, they may not be doing things right in Carnaby Street. Yeah, I'm just
maybe.
Yeah.
So what you're saying in Brixton, they won't tolerate less than perfect. Basically.
Nah, they're not having it. They're not having it. So, and then I went back to Brixton just to verify my claims, and then I went on to certain websites to look at reviews, and Carnaby Street is rubbed out, to be fair.
Well, post the event, I'm planning to do like a review show, so I'll make sure I go check out the Brixton one.
Yeah, you have to check the Brixton one,
and maybe I'll do a comparison.
Yeah.
We'll see. What dish should you try before you die?
It's a tough one. You know what? It's got to be. You have to have jollof rice for you though. But the problem, we're not gonna get into the technical. But which one whether it's Ghanaian, whether it's Nigerian or it's from Gambia, because they're all claiming that the best. Yeah, we won't go through that. My top three is my favorite is Gambia. Okay. Then Ghanaian. Then Nigerian is over there. Okay. Yeah.
You're not saying that because Lawrence is from Gambia?
No, actually, no, because I do like Gambian. Benajin or stuff like that. So I liked his mum's jollof. Yeah, because I never had from Gambia. So, and I didn't know that it's from Senegal, Gambia area. Is that the originators from it. But I'm not feeling the 10 Scotch bonnets that Nigeria put in their jollof rice.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. And last question, I guess, define good food.
I think good food, you can taste somebody's effort. Yeah, good flavor, good balance between your spices, heat. Yeah, that's good food. But I think mainly if you can see someone that's actually put effort, soul, heart into it. I mean, from a restaurant perspective, maybe that's not always the case. But I think if somebody is serving you food or making you food, I think the effort is good. But yeah, when you can really feel like the soul and heart is in it, that's good food for me.
100%. So I want to thank you for being our guest on Black Food Tales. Why don't you tell the people like where we can find you, your socials, your website, all of that kind of stuff? Yeah. How can we find you?
It's easy. Sef Kombo, SEFKOMBO, all one word. I don't think there's anything else that is different. Maybe some of the URLs are different in terms of the end, but if you just put Sef Kombo, do your Googles, as they say, cool. You'll find me. Yeah. So follow me and see what I'm up to. I'm all over the place.
Good stuff. I will make sure I link up to you, and I will put everything we've spoken about in today's show in the show notes for today's episode, so go and check that out. Yep. I normally, or what I've been doing is wrapping up the episode where people would suggest a dish that people need to go and try.
Okay.
I want to switch it up today.
Okay.
So I'm going to create like a little Spotify playlist. I want you to hit me with just 5 tracks. I know you've mentioned good few tracks at the minute. Just 5 tracks people just need to just listen to this evening, this morning, just whatever time they listen to it.
Okay. So there's a track by Sun L musician.
Cool.
Called Goodbye. Check that out. That Starboy Soko tune by Wizkid, okay. And it's got a few of his mates in there. That's a banger. I love that track. So yeah, that's in there.
Love Wizkid.
Yeah, he's good. There's another track that I suggest is from Da Capo again. It's called Found You. I'll put that in there. Who else would I put in there? So there's a new track which has come out by a guy called Freddie Levine. It's called Sondela. Check that out. And my 5th track is, I'm trying to think, what track am I feeling right now?
Could be an old one. Doesn't have to be just new.
Yeah, okay, so one track, because I've got a night coming up in July 19th called Till 2 Classics, and I think the track that I need to hear, but you can't really find it on Spotify and that, so I'll add a 6th track in there, but it's the 5th track will be Kent Phonic.
Okay.
Haya Kaya. Obviously it's a massive track that's done the rounds in the UK. And the 6th track, which you can only find on YouTube, which I absolutely love, is All the Downloads by Kerry Chandler. So I added a 6th one in there because it's not on Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Bonus tracks. Bonus tracks. Okay,
bonus
cool.
Track, yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
Sef, thank you so much for being our guest today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks again for listening to another episode. Don't forget you can head over to blackfoodclub.com/006 to find all those show notes. See you again next week.